is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it
this is a
particularly
paradox.
strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing
never
me,
mind.
thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Oh, yeah,
Did the
totally.
voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
No.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Huh. Is this place different? Shit!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone
things
tell me
turn
I'm
red.
real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I?
Oh my god, what's going on?
And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Aww. Okay. Never the end is never the end is loading. The end is loading. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Okay, we're just gonna follow everything he says now. No
When
more.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm just gonna follow everything now. I'm no longer anticipating him like I did. I'm done with that.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do you remember the... Oh, wait. Was it 2348? I forgot what it was.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Oh, thank you, kind sir. Let's go down. Okay, that makes things quicker. I'm glad, because after doing that a number of times, it kind of got a little... I think it was 2, 3, 4, 8, though. Pretty sure it was. Narrator?
Stanley walked
There we
straight
go.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. Then we did this.
The lights rose on an enormous
There
room
is-
packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay, so far, pretty straightforward. And button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
shaky.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom meant nothing.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
There it is.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But
Okay.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
It's not
Happy
here.
or sad or content.
That's cool.
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his
Button.
past
Bigger
began
button.
to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Huh. Once and for all. Click, 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 click. Click. There we go. That's it. Right? Uh-oh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
There's something there, though.
Was it over?
What is that?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly
Ooh,
opened,
the shadows,
Stanley
yeah, should do
reflected
something.
on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
I don't see the sun.
Where had his co-workers gone?
Oh shit, those are
How had he
birds.
been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Wait, open door. That isn't a door, it's a giant... Oh, maybe it is a door. Okay, yeah, we'll go through here then. Watch the game just crash or something stupid happen. Whoa!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hey, I beat the game. And all I had to do was listen to the narrator. Oh. Okay, actually, there's one more thing I want to see.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Okay. So far, nothing's really new.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
He's not happy I'm not listening to him now. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift that holds. Can I actually fall off? I want to fall off. You fall off? Yay!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, that was totally worth it. No, that's actually not what I wanted to see. Oh, hey, another message.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work.
What?
Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
I did nothing. I just answered. Why should there be like a huge amount of crap everywhere now? Wait, where's the narrator? Narrator? Sir?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I took the wrong door by accident.
Yet there was not a single person.
I took the wrong door.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my god, those boxes. Oopsie. Oh. What does that say? Username access? I did not do that shipment, I swear. That was not me.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Indeed I did. Just look how blue this is. It's
standing blue. Now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
It's over there.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
I actually want to know what's... Okay, we'll do this first, and then we're going to see what's down there after this.
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Her?
She's been waiting.
Ooh, darkness. Oh, whoa. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. I need to pick up the phone. That's what I need to do, is pick up the phone. What if I don't? What if this is merely a trap? What if this is not meant to happen? Yeah, not supposed to answer this phone.